Today I'm going to show you how to paint a landscape painting from a photograph. This photograph provided by our member. I want you to think about you actually painting in plein air, like you're standing over there in the cold or in the heat. You still need to move forward with energy, move forward faster, and focus on the big shape before thinking about smaller shape. It's not like taking your time little by little. Okay, the paper I'm using today is Artisa 100% cotton. It's very good cold press watercolor paper. If you're looking for good watercolor paper but inexpensive, I have a link in the video description. Click on the link and you will get 10% discount. I'm gonna do a little sketching. First, know your composition. So let's see. I'm gonna move the whole thing a little bit higher. So this sky, I'm gonna leave a little bit less. So think about this, the first decision. And this is would be, I'm gonna have a little bit more ocean on the left side. I'm gonna push it a little bit more over here. So the rock star in this area. This is watercolor paint, it's okay. And this can be a little bit higher. And there's some tree over here coming up. Let's see, I might change my mind. I'm not quite sure yet because this is the step you want to play around your ideas. Focus on your first impression. What would you like to, what make you move, what make you to choose this scene. Capture that really quickly and focus on how things connected. Like this rock and that rock, it looks very similar size. Okay, if either you want to just skip it, so remove that repetitive. Sometimes repetitive is important, but in this, I probably gonna just take it away. Okay, so making some decision. And I'm gonna have this shadow all the way in this area. Also over here, I'm gonna leave a little gap, a little more gap than the reference. And this is another big shadow. There's a little bird on top of this, but I decided to let it go because it doesn't really help much in being the bird over here. It would make become a little distraction. Sometimes we need a focal point, but a decided focal point would be the rocks. And let's see. And this also another shadow. See everything as shape. Now it's just putting the bigger shape over here. I'm making it blue color. I will add other colors later, but making it blue colors is the first. I wanted to make it look a little bit colder. And let's see, like that. That's the water. I'm gonna move the beach a little bit higher over here. I'm gonna try to keep the little. The forms on the beach, which is white colors. I'm gonna have it a little bit lighter, like that. And be a little careful about the distance between this, and because that is equals to that space. So I might move this a little bit lower. I will do that after this drive. Okay, I'm just going to use the paper towel to remove the wet. I can come back to it. I think this can move it a little closer, a little bit more farther away. Doesn't have to be in the same location as the reference suggests. Maybe a little closer. So I'm going to put this rock right over here. Like that. And this could be also a little bit lower like that. Okay, that's the little distance coming here. Here we go. I think we have a picture. And the very far background, and that is a very minimal contrast over there. Okay, you may still a little confused what I'm trying to do. So let's first putting the big masses color first on the rocks, and mostly orange color. So I'm gonna put yellow and red color in here. Okay, now here we go. Just use the side of the brush. Welcome the accidents. And put a little bit color over here. So this is the big areas. The big area for the rocks. Like that. And how we're going to create a distance by using the contrast. And this, now the brush get a little bit lighter and lighter because less and less color in the brush already. So I'm going to put it into a little bit distance like that. There we go. Get a little bit yellow, red. Mix the color as you need the color. Okay, I'm gonna put this rock over here, not the rock that I remove. Like that. And a little bit, maybe I just remove the one at the front over here too. So like this. A little bit orange color over here. And that's good. Okay. Now I'm going to put a little dark gray color, blue and red color. And I'm going to put it right over here. That's the big shadow area. You can see, you can use this flat brush effectively by render in different direction, a different motion, like that. And think about dark color, light color, cool color, how they're going to work together. Here you go. That's for now. Shadow side. And I'm going to make a little bit brown color. You just only need to use the 3 primary color to get all the color you need. This rock, this area should be a little bit darker, so it make the front, the rock over here, look a little bit contrast. Okay, that's good. On the front on the top over here, have a little bit more brown, orange color. Here you go, like that. And that's good. And I can lift up if I need a little bit more bigger contrast. And the footer over here have a little bit more brown color. Okay. Okay. That's good. I'm gonna just lift up this space first. So remove all the excess water in your flat brush like this. Remove it. Use your fingers. Remove it. I'm gonna reapply the orange color in this area. You might be thinking about, hey, why don't you wait? Okay. Sometimes this is good. Just wait for it. Sometimes you don't want to. You want to go with that moment that you feel that you want to. When the moment that you have the urge to do it, you want to just do it. Let's see. We're gonna come back. I'm gonna start from the sky now, and take the Prussian blue. If you want to know the material I use, I have a link in the video descriptions, and click over there and you can go to view my materials. Okay, I'm going to just put this color, simple color, in the sky. My paper like tilted about 10 degrees from the table. So the paper, the excess water actually would running down the bottom of the paper if there's too much water in the paint. Now that's good. Now with this, I'm going to keep coming down to the water. I'll come back to the distance to add the mountains in the background later. I don't want too much white space in the background over there because I want it to be feel like a little bit more farther away. So I'm going to paint the water, and at this point you're looking at is any white space, you want to keep it like the water. If some rock, it will be darker than the water, don't worry. You can paint on top of the water. Okay, now coming down over here, and I'm going to change the color, make it a little bit darker because the ocean looks much darker. Think about what color you want, and I'm going to just go with this blue color. Take a look. You can see how you use the brush. It's very simple. I also have the link for this brush. You can look at it in my material page. Okay, now when you get closer and closer, you need to have a little bit red color in it. You get a little bit warmer. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna have a little bit more white. Keep a little white space when you get closer and closer to the front. Also, I can leave a little bit shape for the rock too, like that. I'm gonna keep this to be the rock. Okay. Okay, that's good. Have a little bit more red, almost like a brown color. Okay, I think the color pretty strong. That's good for now. Like that. Now I'm gonna come back to the front over here, let that dry before I come back to fix it, if we need to fix anything. I'm gonna add a little red color on the top over here. Just think about the shapes. And also come in here to use the sideway, and I'm going to showing a little light shape over here at the top. So divide this shape, looks pretty flat, into now dimensional. Okay, now take a look. I'm gonna create more contrast. Now I come back over here. I'm gonna make this those shape. The shape like an instrument in orchestra, right? That you have a different instrument play with different music, different sound, different effect, and that's what the shape come in. I'm gonna have some darker shape, some heavier, right over here. I'm gonna connect this over here. That. Okay. Focus on the big shape. I will walk into the smaller area inside the big shape a little bit later. I'm gonna turn around over here, like that. That's another shape. And then at the bottom over here, I'm gonna have a little bit light blue colors showing the catch the shadow on the white sand. The white sand at the bottom here. I'll come in to give a little suggestions for the rock. Like that. I'm gonna have a little bit brown color. Now put it in here. still think they're the shapes. Okay, the same brown color, I can use it for the rock in the distance here. Make it a little softer. Like that. Okay. And in the other side, also add some brown color here. Like that. Now I'm going to put a little dark color. For you right now, think about, oh, what a mess. But we have started painting from looking at it as abstract and coming more and more become representation. Okay. It's okay. In your mind, you already have the picture. So when you are painting, you want to have those elements gradually and laying out, and then you're going to sort them as make them connected later. So we have the rock here. Gonna have the brown color, yellow and red. Get a little water. Here you go. Think about how big the shape you want, how much color, how much water. Okay. I'm gonna get a little bit brown color. And the rock here. A little bit darker. Now come to some of the rock a little bit darker. I can just put it on top of the blue color. Now we add this piece of rock over here. Like that. Okay. Now working on the shape inside the big shape. And when you squint your eye to look at the pictures, and you can see something. Now I'm gonna add the yellow color into this blue color. Just add the color there. And also need to mix a little yellow, orange, brown colors for the rock somewhere. You don't need to over branding. Okay. And showing the a little dimension change on the rock over here. So you need to add some color alternated. Over here it has a little bit darker. Okay. And we're gonna add a little bit darker color by a little gray, so I have a little blue color. Put it in here. That's the gap. And we're gonna put the tree on the top over there. That's good. Now we're gonna come back to the distance. We're gonna take a look at the distant objects. Okay, I'm still gonna use the same brush. Let's take a look at that color. It looks like this. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna say the area for the water line. Okay, like that. You can change the shape for the distant mountain if you want. And then the top over here, it keep a little light color, that's fine. Or you can glaze a little bit red color later. And just think about the colors. Anything, it's all about color, color, color. Shape, shape, shape. Okay, now coming here. And I'm gonna come back to do a little lifting for the small light shape a little bit later. Okay, now I'll come back to the front over here, do some organizations. I'm going to start lifting a little color, do some changes. Okay. That's good. Give a little rough feeling. Go open up this shape a little more. Maybe I'm gonna create a little shape, little gap over here. And the rock on the top over here can be a little bit lighter. Like that. And I come back here. Okay, good. And in here, I'm gonna deduct a little bit. That's good. And I'm gonna come in to organize a little bit here too. And then I even make this shape a little bit lighter. When you have a good enough paper like this, Arches cold pressed 140 pound and 100% cotton, allows you to do quite a bit of watercolor technique. And also going to have a little small shape over here and reorganize it. Okay, that's good. And here, clear up a little bit more. And I'm also going to have a little light shape over here. Give it a little bit better rhythm. Dark light, dark light. Like that. Okay, and the bottom, I'm just going to give a little bit light sand color. Like that. Now after this all dry, I'm going to come back to use a smaller brush to define the little detail. Now I'm going to come back to, no, not yet. I'm going to clear this whole areas. So making sure it has enough impression that actually this is the light side and including coming down over here. And then that's the shadow side. So just think about how those shapes look together. And I'm going to move this out a little bit more. So working with watercolor is you have lots of freedom. You don't have to go with a certain look, a certain idea. Go with exactly how you feel when you're looking at that, the scene or the reference, and just try to express the way you want. gonna tap over here a little bit lighter too. So showing the separation between this and the rack and the back. I'm gonna do a little bit line over here. That's good. Now enough suggestions. Now what I want to do, I'm gonna come back to the distance. Come back over here. Just light up. All we try to do is give suggestion. Now it looked like something going on. Now I come to have just a little red color, and I tap it on the top of this mountain, and that's it. This look like a mountain here. And but on the other side, I'm gonna have just the pure blue color. And then come to a little bit brown color, like that. So I have more and more suggestions. But I don't want that to be being too dark, so I'm gonna remove that. If too much contrast, it's feeling like it's very close to the viewer, very close to me. So I'm gonna make this a little bit softer, like that. That's good. Now I'm going to take a very short break. Okay, now I'm using this squirrel, very soft natural hair round brush. I'm going to start from the far background, and I'm just going to use a very light purple color. Very light. Now I give a little suggestions here. Just look at the shape. You don't want to say, oh, there's the houses, and how I'm going to make the houses. You're never going to make the houses. Or you try to use the shape to communicate the suggestion. And now it's just group the top over here and leave the bottom look like, feeling like the houses. Okay. That should be good enough. Now I'm gonna use just the pleasant blue. And now start reshaping the water. Let's see. That's good. You can now leave a little light shape. Like that. That's good. Okay. I do the water first and then come to the rock. And slowly organize. At the front over here, the same color now become only the darker shape. This is the wave, the shadow of the wave. And add a little red color to it. A little bit more contrast now. A little more red. That's good. Now there's the water. And what I'm going to do, now I'm going to come in to get a little brown color, a little gray brown color. Now coming here to this. Like that. Make somewhere a little bit softer. That's good. Enough suggestions for that. Now come back to the rock at the front over here. Just very light color. Take a look. Now the big shapes already created. Now coming to give some indication for the smaller tone, smaller plane. I'm gonna have a little bit more brown color like that. Take a look at this rock. That's good. Don't think about its rock. Just think about what are the shape over there, how the shapes making interesting into action. Now come here. And after this round, you are going to see, oh, maybe something I overdo. And then you can somehow remove it. Like that. That's good. Enough contrast now. I'm gonna come to have some orange color. Redefine some of the planes like that, and a little bit darker over here. That. Okay, have a little bit light brown color on top of this, and a little bit orange color. On the top here. Okay, that's good. Give enough room for the audience to use their imagination. So sometimes you want to keep it somehow abstract. So let them to connect it. You say, oh, this is the rock, this must be the turn. And let them to connect their own experience. A little bit darker. Get a little darker purple color. That's because those are in the shadow. Now that's good. I'm gonna come in the shadow area. Like that. And get a little brown color up here to divide this shape. That's good. Now put it a little bit brighter color, like that. Have a little green color up here, and a little green color in here, and have a little bit red color. Just glaze the red color up here. That's fine. Okay, that's okay. And a little bit, feel a little bit green in this area, the front over here. Oh, that's good. Now I have a little orange color in this piece of rock. I'm gonna have this a little bit more dimension, so make the people feel like, oh, this is something. It actually right in front of us. The brightness of colors really can get suggesting the spaces. Use a little bit more cooler color. Now I'm gonna come in over here. I'm gonna make that organized together. Here you go. Now coming star over here. This belong to the shadow side. Now get a little bit darker. A little sharper. Even darker color over here. Like that. Now we can see the layering. The contrast creating the illusion of the spaces. that's good. I'm gonna have some brighter blue color. I'm gonna take this little brighter blue color. So a little bit closer area. Okay. Have a little sharper. But you don't want to overdo it, making too much dark color. Give it the suggestions for the tree. I'm gonna add the yellow color in the blue and also add some red color. Like that. Okay, that's good. Now coming here. Look at the shape. These are our shapes. And how the shape relate together. I'm gonna have this even taller. Yeah. And I'm gonna add this a little purple brown color. Oh, on the others, a little bit, expand it a little bit more. And on the other side, I'm gonna add a little shadow color, like a gray brown color. And group it into shapes. Okay, just add a little detail to the rock. Now you can see this smaller and smaller detail has been just created. think the painting is pretty clear now. I'm going to add a little brown color. In here. Like that. A little green color. And a little dark color. Like that, show the shadow. And now this painting is finished.